Creative Magic Club. What's up? This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a six-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I am here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, Sarah Mack here from withsarahmack.com. And for today's episode, I want to share a really awesome excerpt with you from the Sun Sign online masterclass series that I taught last week, which was so much fun. And the concept of the masterclass series was really where I developed a fabulous process to more deeply understand your sun sign placement along with the house it's in, as well as the elements that are present and how their interaction can bring you profound insights about your unique personality, your strengths, your work, and your brand story. So one of the major topics connected to the strength and the superpowers of your sun sign that I covered in this masterclass was the power of confidence, which is so important to understand, especially when it comes to creating consistency in your sales and client magnetism from your online content. It has the capacity to have a huge impact on your sales results, which you are going to learn from this excerpt today. What I'm going to share with you is my story of when I lost my confidence and how I bounced back from the corresponding income dip. I think you're going to love it. And if this topic is really resonating with you and supporting you, you can access the full Sun Sign online trainings via the link in the description or through the masterclass tab on my website withsarahmack.com. Enjoy. So I want to kick off with a story to illustrate the power of confidence, because this is a big part of the conversation around sales and around our sun sign. So let's rewind. I can't remember what year this was. This was like my first six-figure year in my business. I'd been making consistent 5-figure months. I was living my digital nomad dream. I'd booked a 6-week trip to Hawaii. I took a helicopter ride into the heart of Kauai, listening to the Jurassic Park music that they play when they do that tour, which is the most epic thing ever. And, and I just remember this is like my dream. This is all of my dreams come true. We'd just checked into a sweet oceanfront property apartment on Poipu Beach, which is like the sunniest part of Kauai. Had this incredible pool overlooking the ocean, the stunning rocky coastline. I remember we arrived, I dumped my bags, I had a sales call with a new client, and she signed up, she paid in full $3,500 package, and before I'd even unpacked. And then I took the sales call, set up my new client, dived into the pool, and was like, this is the dream. We watched the sunset, just the most amazing way to be making money. And, I was like adventuring, spending time in nature, traveling, running content events and booking clients in between island hopping, road tripping and adventuring, having so much fun, making more money than I'd ever made before in my entire life, having 10 and 20K months. Okay, yeah, this was in 2018. Then in 2019, I moved to Brooklyn with my husband and he started his medical residency. And this was the beginning of the most stressful and challenging years of my life. Albor's my partner. He was working 100-hour weeks. He was burning out really fast. And I was alone in Crown Heights. We ended up moving to Crown Heights because I was like, my biggest fear of moving to New York was not having any green space. And this was a legitimate fear in New York. I remember looking at the Google Maps and zooming in on like the little green parks on Google Maps. And then I would go there and it would literally be a slab of concrete with a chain link fence around it. So we moved to Crown Heights because that was the place that we could afford to have a garden. And I was, waiting for my green card application to process. I was freaking out about my husband's lifestyle. I was getting so triggered, having been through 5 years of burnout and chronic fatigue myself. I was so scared that he would get sick like I did at the rate that he was working. I started to lose myself. I started living so much of my life trying to control my husband and to stop him from burning out and to take care of him, and panicking around how toxic his work situation was. I had no real community in New York because we'd just moved to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn and Manhattan is basically another city away. There's so much travel. It was just such a big city, so different to the life I'd been living in Montreal before, where I was biking around. All my friends were, 10, 15 minutes away. I was completely freaking out about the cost of living in New York. I remember going to the local store to pick up a loaf of bread and it was $15 US. And I was like, what the actual fuck? And the cost of living was about 5 times what I'd been spending in Montreal before. So it was a huge adjustment for me financially. We had no family, no community nearby, no one to just go around and collapse in a pile and have dinner with. And my income started to dip. And I became very isolated because I didn't want to spend money going out. And as a resident, Albers was being paid less than the janitor, the hospital janitor. So I just made my first 6-figure year and I was feeling broke as a joke. And I was scared to leave the house because money just evaporates from your wallet in New York. And I would go for walks around the little trash-filled park at the end of my street. I would stay home with my 2 new ginger kitties that were just adopted from the neighbors. And Albers was at work every waking hour of the day and night. This was hardly my dream life. And I started to feel a sense of desperation. And I lost my mojo. And I tried launching a new group program. I called it the 6-Figure Creative, which is actually now the working title of my book. And I had a sales call with a guy who was like, I don't have enough money left in my personal development budget to join your program. Then I had another sales call with a girl in India who said she was going to sign up. I was so excited to work with her. And then she just never followed through. So this was my first total $0 flopped launch. And I was like, why is this happening to me? I know how to do this. I know how to make money. I know how to sell. I know how to sell offers. I'd launched so many different offers with success in the year prior. I'd been running a flipping copywriting agency, writing for 7-figure entrepreneurs who were telling me things like, this is the best piece of copy I've ever seen. I knew how to sell. I knew how to tell my story. So what the hell was going on? I'd lost my confidence. So I was still signing one-on-one clients, but less frequently than before. So I knew I had to get back to the drawing board with a beginner's mind and really master my content strategy. I was doubting myself. I was like, well, clearly I don't know what the fuck I'm doing because I'm not getting the result. So I hired a business coach. I got back to basics. I redesigned my offer and I really worked on the positioning and the messaging, and I relaunched it. First as a one-on-one to get some clients in the door. Then I eventually launched it as a group program and it became one of my best-selling offers. This was Tell Stories That Sell, that I've since had dozens of clients take. And, literally use the same sales page over and over and over again for years. My first group program launch for this offer, after I'd sold a few one-on-one spots, I signed 10 clients at $1,000 each, and it contributed to my highest month ever, which was a $24,000 month, including all of my one-on-one sales. So I bounced back. And guess what? I didn't realize this until after I developed and sold the offer. I think I found the old sales page from, the 6-Figure Creative version of this program. It was the same offer I've been trying to sell. It was the same client, the same result, very, very, very similar message. So that really showed me I had just needed to tweak the messaging and that my wobbly confidence had seeped into my content. My misdirected and fearful mindset had watered down my message and storytelling, and it made a very real impact on my sales. So here's the lesson that I took from this. You can know the strategy to make big sales and to be successful in sales and have used it and created success for yourself in the past. But holding a consistent level of confidence and focus in your work is a big, big, big part of this conversation around sales and success. And when we're talking about consistent income, it requires consistent confidence, consistent clarity, and an on-point execution of your content strategy. So I'm going to share with you how to do this in this masterclass series. Because when we're feeling wobbly, it seeps into our language. And I think a lot of this is unconscious, right? Like we just start to want to hide and we show less of ourselves because we're not feeling ourselves, or we're judging or shaming or feeling insecure about a part of ourselves. And what happens is our content becomes forgettable, wishy-washy, and it just blends into the noise online. And we are really holding back the details that are necessary to lead people to the sale. Because, and like, listen, if this is the one takeaway you get from any work with me, I'm like saying this again and again and again with my clients, and even to myself, is like, you are the reason that people buy from you. And your story is the number one thing that sells what you do. And so often, especially when we're learning copy, we get good at talking about the benefits. We get good at talking about our program and our offer and the transformation. But it's so important. And the thing that often falls off of that, especially when we are feeling insecure or we're having a wobbly moment and we have that tendency to hide, is the story elements are the parts that drop off. But these are always the things that stick in people's head. These are always the reasons why people feel connected to us. Our story is the reason why people buy. And I constantly have to remind myself of this. I constantly have to check back on what have I written and where can I add in more story? Where have I forgotten myself in this because I'm focused on the offer, I'm focused on the client, I'm focused on articulating it clearly. Our story is the most valuable, important thing that we can possibly put our time and energy into writing and sharing. So put it on a post-it note, get it tattooed on your forehead. This is going to be the one thing that makes you more money consistently in your business. For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm interrupting this broadcast with a special announcement. Are you wondering which parts of your story to focus on in your content to attract ready-to-buy soulmate clients? Do you wish you had clear sales page copy for your high-ticket offer with a stash of social media posts that lead to easy sales that fill your offer on repeat month after month? Do you wish it felt so easy and natural to talk about how you help people when you get interested clients popping up in your inbox? I can help you. In a 90-minute private coaching intensive together, we'll focus on the most important changes you can start making in your messaging to attract more paying clients into your offers. During our time together, we'll make sure your offer is actually targeted at the kinds of clients you really want to be working with. We'll tighten up your messaging or write it from scratch if we need to, and we'll map out a feel-good launch plan to start filling it up with amazing clients. You'll come away with powerful copy targeted at the kinds of clients who are truly ready to buy your offer and do the work, with a clear step-by-step action plan to start connecting with the right kinds of clients tailored to your strengths and audience. No cookie-cutter approaches here. Plus, clarity on your own story and which parts to share to attract the right people, with a list of content topics and a few solid pieces of sales content that you can start sharing to make sales right away. Clients who have done my intensive have gone on to get 20 applications within 48 hours of hitting publish on their new sales page, tripled their workshop signups, designed and launched new exciting offers, raised their offer price above 5 figures, and signed new dreamy clients into their high-ticket offer within days. To chat about how we can use our time together to start welcoming more amazing clients into your world, message me the word intensive either over on Instagram at Creative Magic Club or to my email sarah@withsarahmac.com.